Hi everybody, my name is Eric from Khokelo Safaris. Thank you for watching. In a series of 3 videos I will be telling you everything you need to know about traveling with your children in Africa. In this specific video I'll be talking about the vehicle selection, the tenting configuration and all other details that you need to know, all to make driving and sleeping as comfortable as possible when you're traveling with your children in Africa. Your vehicle is your home for the whole holiday. So just as you would select a holiday apartment, with care, it's very important and crucial to select the right vehicle for you. Now, when you book with Khokelo Safaris, we always go for Toyota vehicles. They are highly reliable and they've never let us down in the past. And you can either choose a Hilux or a Land Cruiser configuration. Now, they come in different tenting configurations as well. Both Toyota Hiluxes and the Toyota Land Cruisers. So let's first talk about the one that you see behind me. It's the one with the rooftop tent. That's an incredibly interesting and nice vehicle to drive in, but it's incredibly easy to set up. You just undo 2 clips at the back of the car, you push the roof upwards and your tenting area, at least for the adults, is set up. If you want to access it, you go through the inside of your car. Now on the ground floor, you can just set up a bed for 1 or 2 small children. And at night, you can be in direct contact with your children. And from our experience, especially when you're traveling with younger children, it is so nice, it's so comfortable to be in direct contact with them. Luggage, normally during daytime, you would store where you would set up the bed for your children. At night, you would just simply move into the cabin of the car and then have a complete free area for your children to sleep in. Now I must admit that the bush camper is a bit more expensive than the configuration with 2 rooftop tents. But from our experience, if you have young children and you find it important not to go outside and go down an upper flight of stairs to be in touch and contact with your children, this is definitely worth it. When your children are a little bit bigger and older, then probably the bush camper is no longer the right vehicle for you, and you might be better off with the one version with the 2 rooftop tents, the one that you see behind me here. It will take you a little bit longer to set up the tents in the afternoon, and it will take you a little bit longer to fold it back. But the advantage is it's a much cheaper option, and you don't have to move around your luggage all the time. So in that respect, it's a little bit easier, and you might gain a little bit of time in the morning. As a parent, sometimes I think not having Wi-Fi is definitely a blessing. But let's face it, especially when you have younger children, having Wi-Fi in the backseat helps in keeping the peace, especially when you're driving longer distances. Now, on most campsites you will be able to find Wi-Fi, but not in the vicinity of your car. You probably would have to go to either the reception or you have to go to the restaurant to access the internet. If you do want to have Wi-Fi in the vicinity of your car, and especially when you're driving longer distances, and you have an internet addictive child, as you can see is ours, then we would definitely recommend buying a prepaid 4G card. The coverage is remarkably good in both Botswana and Zambia, the countries that we book through. Especially outside of the parks. Within the parks you will not have Wi-Fi coverage or 4G coverage at all, but outside the park the coverage is pretty good. The local population, they highly rely on it, so you can see that in the coverage. If you book through Khokelo Safaris, we will definitely help you and guide you through the process of obtaining a 4G prepaid card. The nightly walks to the toilet in the middle of the night when it's pitch dark and you know that there might be wildlife roaming around freely was something that we could do without very quickly. And I think it was around the 3rd or the 4th night that we created our own toilet. Although I must admit it wasn't as fancy as this one. It was just simply a bottle. It helps to have a bucket or a bottle handy in those times when it's necessary. Not only at the campsites but also when you are traveling with your car. There might not always be a good toilet option around. Of course you go to Africa to find wildlife, to spot wildlife, and there's nothing more fun and rewarding than by doing it with the whole family, each with their own binoculars. So make sure you have not only binoculars for yourself, but also bring one for your child or your children. Also at the local bookstores you can buy a map of all the animals that you can find in all the parks, and it's fun to see which ones you've seen and which ones you still have to see. So to recap, choose the right vehicle, choose the right tenting configuration, either a bush camper or the one with rooftop tents. Buy a 4G prepaid card so you can have Wi-Fi there where you want it. Keep a bucket or a bottle handy for toilet needs, and make sure that you have binoculars and a local map of all the animals available to spot all the wildlife. This was all I wanted to tell you about the vehicle and to make driving and sleeping as comfortable as possible. In the next video I'll be talking about planning your trip when you're going on safari with your children in Africa. If you want to know more about self-driving, specifically in Botswana or Zambia, feel free to visit our website at www.khokelosafaris.com. For now, thank you for watching. Be sure to check back for the latest news and updates, and please like our video.